Now there's tons of visual interfaces for smart homes on the market, and in that light, what is the benefit of smart assistants? What do they bring to the end user and the system integrator that other visual products don't?
Yeah, as a starter, you actually get 3 apps in one device. So the end customer can decide whether they will be using, for example, Apple HomeKit, Amazon Alexa, or Google Home. And this is actually often the case because you have end customers where, for example, husband is using iPhone and wife is using Android, and she's already using, for example, Alexa for certain reminders or timers, and she wants to be continuously using this as a smart home control as well. So each of them can use their own app. So this is one. The second one that it's quite obvious is also voice control. So you have everything in your house you can control with voice, and this is, again, you can use Apple Siri, or you can use Google Assistant, or you can use Amazon Alexa, or you can use a mixture of those depending on what you are already used to, because most people already use this for music, for example. But then there's one that's very important both for end customers as well as integrators, and this is actually something that's not as well known. And it's basically the flexibility that they both get out of smart assistants. And on one side, the end customer actually gets the possibility to change the layouts of their app, change the names, but also add automation. And they can do almost any kind of automation themselves. They can use, for example, geofencing, so when everybody goes away from the home, something can happen, or when they come in a radius around the house, something else can happen. And also, they can add certain IoT devices to their smart home without the need for an integrator's help. And for example, if after they move in, they figure out that in the bedroom they want additional ambient lighting, they can go and they can buy some very nice ambient lights, IoT based, that are compatible with HomeKit, and they can actually install them. Maybe they support tunable white, so that the color temperature can change from warm white to cold white, maybe based on the sun, and they can integrate this themselves, and then they can use it from automation, or maybe even put it on a KNX wall switch to control it when they come into the room. And this is what they can do by themselves. And this is very, very important for them because modern customers want a certain level of control. But on the other hand, this is also very, very important for an integrator, because an integrator gets a project, he sets up all the automation, and after he sets this up and gives this to the customer, he maybe comes back one more time to kind of tweak the final things, and then he goes off to the next project, and he makes the most from doing like separate projects. And coming back for some small tasks and for some small changes to a certain project, it takes time, and it's not even a very efficient in terms of profit. And what smart assistants enable him is that he can give certain level of control to the customer so that they can handle their home themselves. And he comes only when the customer needs like a larger help, and he can come and help the customer. And there is also one more thing that I would like to mention is the brand awareness that smart assistants have with customers. So when you are selling a visualization server to the end customer, you need to present it to them, and they need to trust it and understand what they're getting. And if they don't know the brand of the server yet, you need to kind of put in the effort to put your word behind it. But in case of Apple, Google, and Amazon, these are brands that people are already using. For example, many KNX customers have already like a complete Apple home, in sense of they have iPhone, they have Apple Watch, they have AirPods, they have Apple TV, etc. And getting an Apple home with Apple smart home control in it is a no-brainer for them. And this is something they will be very happy to decide and go for. And this is something that you don't have to do, because all those brands already made the brand awareness strong enough so that the customers for them, it's very simple to decide and go for that.
Okay, thank you. So basically, it empowers the end user and makes the workflow of the integrator much easier.